Hi everyone, my name is Helga, also known as PuddingFishCakes, and thank you so much for joining me today for the second episode of A Guide to Polymer Clay. Last week I did an introduction on polymer clay, which you can watch right here. Today I'll be talking about extra materials and tools that you might need when working with polymer clay. Please note that I am not a professional and all this information is based off of my own research and experimentation. When I first started using polymer clay, toothpicks were my main tool, and they still are today. These will help you with making details and texturing your clay, and I find myself going through a whole set of toothpicks in just a few weeks. So if you're just starting out and you don't know if you should buy tools just yet, toothpicks are a great way to get you going. Other than toothpicks, the tools that I use most frequently when sculpting are dotting tools and blades. I got this set of dotting tools for really cheap on eBay. I'll put the link in the description box below. Each one has a different size tip on both ends and they help with making small details. These can also double as a rolling pin if you want to flatten your clay into thin sheets. I use two different types of blades. The first is one of these rectangular blades, which you can find at any hardware store or craft store. I got this particular set from Home Depot, which includes 10 blades and a blade holder. I use this type of blade when I need to cut a long strip of clay. The second type of blade that I use is an X-Acto knife, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. This is great for cutting smaller pieces of clay that the larger rectangular blade would otherwise get in the way. You can purchase X-Acto knives in any hardware or craft store. I got mine from Amazon. If you want to turn your piece into a pendant or add it to a keychain, you're going to need eye pins. When you stick these into your clay before baking, you'll end up with a little loop which you can attach to necklace chains and cell phone straps. You can purchase eye pins from any craft store in the jewelry section, or what I like to do is make my own eye pins, which I'll be showing you how to do right now. You're going to need round nose pliers and galvanized wire, and this is 20 gauge. Start off by holding your pliers at the end of the wire and turning your pliers like so. Then hold your pliers at the bottom of the loop, and with your other hand, push the wire against the pliers, and this will center your loop. Then just cut off the length that you need, and there you have it, your own eye pin. More often than not, eye pins tend to fall out of your charms after a while of using them. If you want to learn how to secure your eye pins so that they don't fall out, you can watch my tutorial right here. If you want to avoid having to secure your eye pins, another type of pin that you can use are head pins. These are great because you don't have to secure them afterwards since there's a head at the bottom. These work by pushing the pin through the bottom of your clay, baking, and then shaping the top into a loop with round nose pliers. After you're finished baking your charms and you want to paint on any details, I use this set of paintbrushes which I got off of eBay for a very cheap price, and I'm actually very happy with the quality. They're originally used for nail art, so they're made to create tiny details, which is great for polymer clay miniatures. I always use acrylic paint for this. I recommend painting your pieces after they have cooled down completely from baking. Always remember to rinse off your paintbrushes after you're finished using them so that the paint doesn't harden the bristles. I've had to throw away a lot of paintbrushes because I forget to clean them, and that's never fun. Liquid clay is pretty much polymer clay but in liquid form. Liquid clay can be mixed with chalk pastels or solid clay to create creamy or icing textures. It can also act like a clay glue, so if you have any clay pieces that won't stick together, you can just dab a bit of liquid clay onto the areas that you want to connect. I'll be doing a separate episode just on liquid clay and how to make icing, so stay tuned for that. The brand of liquid clay that I use is Translucent Liquid Sculpey. This doesn't dry completely clear, so if you're looking for a more transparent liquid clay, I recommend Fimo Deco Gel. Liquid clay is just like polymer clay in that it has to be baked in order to harden. Chalk pastels are used to shade on soft colors onto your clay. I'm sure you've seen a lot of people use this technique for miniature pastries. You can watch my apple pie video right here to see me use this technique. When you're finished creating your charm, you might want to seal your piece with a glaze or varnish. This will not only make your charm a bit more durable, but it'll also give it a really nice shine. I'll be doing a future episode just on glaze and how I glaze my charms, so stay tuned for that as well. The type of glaze that I use is varathane polyurethane, and I highly recommend it. I purchased this huge can from Amazon, but you can also find it at any hardware store. If you want a cheaper alternative, you can also try out Triple Thick. I used this glaze before I switched to Varathane. This glaze doesn't hold up too well in warmer conditions, and it can get pretty sticky after a while, but it does have a really nice shine and it worked for me. You can find Triple Thick in any craft store. To use glaze, simply brush it all over your charm with a soft brush and let it dry completely before handling. You might also want to glue polymer clay pieces together after they've been baked, or you want to attach some sort of metal material to it, such as earring studs. The glue that I recommend for things like these is E6000. This is definitely the best glue that I've tried for crafting. So that's most of the tools and materials that I use on a regular basis. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you have anything to add, feel free to comment down below so that myself and other people watching can learn from you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment in the comment section below, and I will try my best to answer. In last week's video, it was really great to see you guys talking amongst yourselves and helping each other out. Like this video if you liked it, and make sure you're subscribed to this channel if you want to be notified of new videos. Thanks again for joining me today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!